Chapter 1. June 10, 2018. Hunter Bennett ran flat out as if the hounds of hell pursued him, and considering he was approaching the Devil's Causeway in the Colorado Flattop Wilderness, the sentiment was fitting. He grunted, pushing himself harder up the snow-covered mountain to the ridge that resembled the Great Wall of China. If only it were just hellhounds chasing him, compelling him to move faster, push harder, and not his own demons of failure stalking just over his shoulder. His foot slipped on the talus covering the mountainside, forcing him to put all his focus on the arduous climb, lest he tumble all the way to the bottom, breaking his neck. Wouldn't that just be fitting? U.S. Army Delta Force operator found dead after falling down a mountain in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, the newspaper would say. Though they would leave out the Delta Force bit since that part of his life was strictly off the books and didn't exist. The unit would never let him live it down. No, he needed focus control. If he couldn't climb a little mountain without screwing up, he didn't deserve to go back to the Army, let alone the unit, after this mandatory R&R was finished. Hunter crested the ridge and slowed as he came to the land bridge. Beautiful verdant basins filled with aspens unfurling their spring-green leaves edged up to the slick talus rocks on either side of the mountain. The snow dotting the mountaintops laughed down on the green in challenge. The Bear River flowed on the side he'd hiked up from. Lakes dotted the land where he planned to camp on the opposite side, glittering like sapphires and emeralds sewn into the lush fabric of God's creation. Hunter sat on the 3-foot middle of the Devil's Causeway, letting the crisp early morning air cool him, and grabbed his canteen and an energy bar. While being 10,000 feet above sea level didn't bother him too much, he knew if he didn't keep hydrated, he'd be hurting later. He pulled out his detailed topographical map he'd printed from the satellite before leaving, and surveyed the lakes below, wondering which one would provide his dinner. He took a deep breath in, his heart already slowed to normal, and closed his eyes as the sun warmed the back of his neck. Hunter needed this, the quiet of the wind blowing across the mountain ridge. The whisper of birds singing in the trees far below. Maybe he would hear God speak with him again in the wilderness's solitude.